You're listening to the 10-minute podcast challenge that will prove every place is the same. Welcome your host, the irreverent, the cosmopolitan, the wicked, Daniela Vlaskalik.
Hello, and welcome to Every Place Is The Same. I am so pleased to introduce my guest, Chris Bond.
Hi.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Chris, tell us about your podcast.
Well, it is a theme park podcast that centers around the Disney and Universal parks, and it's more fun than info, so it's a little bit of both, but essentially you can check us out at We Like Theme Parks or at WeLikeThemeParks.com or anywhere you get your podcast. And it's about getting your nerd on, but also laughing your Mickey ears off. So
well, that sounds like it is a lot of fun.
It is.
So check it out. We Like Theme Parks. Okay, so today, Chris, let's talk about some places in the world that you have been.
Let's do it.
All right. Vancouver, Whistler.
Yes. Beautiful. I love to ski. I love the mountains. I love the cold air. Even the drive up on the Sea to Sky Highway is beautiful.
So a city that offers you both things. You can ski in the mountains or you can swim in the ocean.
You can, yeah. If you're into swimming, it might be a little chilly if you're there during ski time. But yeah, go for it. Whatever floats your boat.
Absolutely. So you've also spent some time in Interlaken and Bern, Switzerland. Is that right?
I have, yes.
Talk to me about that.
Beautiful, picturesque. If you like your melty cheese, it's the place to be. Chocolate is also right there. But then again, you can get the same chocolate here, so not that big a deal. But the mountains and the scapes, it's just beautiful. Beautiful surroundings. And if you decide to climb some of those mountains, it's beautiful. And get your hiking boots on.
Can you ski?
I do ski, yes.
Now, both places hosted the Olympics. Well, Vancouver, Whistler, 2010 Olympics.
Yeah, I knew that one.
And the Olympics were held in Switzerland in 1948.
I did not know about the Olympics in 1948. Thank you.
Now, Chris, would you say that Vancouver, Whistler, and Interlaken, Bern are the same?
I would say they have some similarities, absolutely.
They absolutely do, and not just the Olympics. So today on Every Place Is The Same, we are going to prove that Interlaken, Bern, Switzerland, and Vancouver, Whistler, Canada are in fact the same.
Let's do that. That's a great plan.
Let's do it. Let's strap on our skis and let's sail down that mountain. Okay, talking about mountains, Whistler Blackcomb.
Yep, two different mountains.
That's right.
Yeah.
Connected by a gondola.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of gondolas in Switzerland, too.
Yes, there are. Wow. Thank you so much, Chris.
We're making headway.
So if you're going from peak to peak gondola, tell us what that's like.
Well, it's up high.
1,427 feet.
Yeah. It's way up high.
That's right.
But it's beautiful vistas, and there's a lot of mist, so sometimes on a...
Misty, you say? Gorillas in the mist?
I can't say I've seen many gorillas, but I do. It would be definitely an added experience if you could see these gorillas.
Yeti in the mist?
I have yet to see a Yeti, but wow, that would be cool.
Bigfoot in the mist?
Just a lot of little feet so far, not any big ones, but we're working on it.
What size shoe do you wear, Chris?
I'm a 12 and a half.
Wow, that's a big ski boot.
Yeah, it is a big foot. And sometimes if it is
peak to peak,
it's a beautiful flight over the mountain vistas with some snowy views. And it's a nice time to have a conversation with either some new friends or the people you're with.
Jungfrau Joch.
Yes, it's a beautiful mountain.
Yes, it is.
Yep. There's a train that goes right up the mountain, inside the mountain.
Railway.
Yep.
That's right. Goes all the way up 5,000 feet.
It does. It's incredible. It's beautiful.
Tell us about it.
Well, there's part of it is outside and along the mountain, which is really beautiful. And then there is part of it which is quite dark because you're traveling through inside the mountain. It's like a subway, but in a train. And when you get to one of the peak stations, because there's stations along the way, you are inside the mountain, which is pretty incredible.
In Switzerland?
This is in Switzerland, correct.
What's at the top?
There is an observation area at the top, which is beautiful. And then you can go even higher to the top peak that you actually have to go to by foot, to actually have to hike in the snow up to the top, the highest peak, the highest observation area.
How important is the tip?
The tip is usually the apex. It's the tippy top, and you definitely want to experience the tip.
What's at the peak of Whistler Blackcomb?
I would assume that there's some kind of observation area or at least a nice restaurant.
Yes, there absolutely is. Let's talk dirty food.
Please.
You mentioned Swiss chocolate.
Yes.
Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Fondue. Chris, explain for our international listeners what you mean when you say dirty food.
What I mean when I say dirty food is definitely like unhealthy, like fun food. Not a lot of nutritional value, more of just, boy, I feel like having a treat. All the raclette.
Explain what raclette is for our international listeners.
Sure. It's essentially melted cheese onto bread is raclette. I think the raclette is a device that you use to melt the cheese. It's like a hot plate. And then you scrape the cheese onto either potatoes or bread. And that is a traditional Swiss dish. And it's delicious.
Sounds very dirty.
It's super dirty and yummy.
Let's talk White Spot.
Let's talk White Spot.
Tell us what White Spot restaurant is for our international listeners.
I believe White Spot is a chain of restaurants in British Columbia. I think it's a chicken restaurant.
It is a burger restaurant.
Oh, the White Spot. Okay, burgers, chicken. I think you can get it all at White Spot.
Fish and chips.
Yum. It's good, and they're all over the place if I remember. Yeah.
It is an institution in Vancouver.
I would agree with that. Yep.
A classic dish at White Spot is the grilled cheese.
Is it really?
Yes,
I have not experienced the White Spot grilled cheese. But,
well, next time you're there, get in there for some dirty food.
I love me some dirty food.
Let's talk clocks.
Let's do it.
Swiss clocks.
Yes.
Famous.
Yeah, very famous. I think I saw one when I was over there. We went to a famous Swiss clock.
There's a medieval center in Bern that has a very famous clock.
I think that's where I was.
In the center of town.
Yep. I saw that thing. Yeah. It was cool. I was really hopped up on cheese and chocolate. I was pretty excitable. So I don't remember a lot about the clocks, but it did tell me the time, and it definitely was medieval.
Gastown steam clock.
My goodness. Yes, that's right. Gastown steam clock. Delicious.
And also an older part of town, cobblestone streets.
Yep.
A steam clock at the center in Vancouver, British Columbia. Will give you the time.
It will give you the time. Might not be as medieval, but you'll still know what time it is.
With steam and whistles.
I would agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Rocky Mountain chocolate.
That is definitely a British Columbia experience, and it's delicious. And definitely a part of the British Columbia sweet scene.
So both places have chocolate and clocks.
Yeah. You know what? When I think about it, I think you're right. Yeah, they both have chocolate and clocks.
Tick-tock, Chris. Tick-tock. Bridges.
Bridges, definitely a big part of British Columbia. You're taking a bridge just about everywhere. The Lionsgate Bridge brings you up into North Van.
The Burrard Street Bridge,
Burrard
the
Street
Granville
Bridge.
Street Bridge, the Portman Bridge, the Canby Bridge, and if you are a risk taker, the Capilano Suspension Bridge.
That's a shaky one. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Bridges in Bern.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the bridge, but it's a world-famous bridge that cuts right across the waterway in Bern. It's a beautiful walk.
There's over 18 bridges in Bern.
I think I only walked over one of them.
Could be one of those.
Yeah, it
could be Intertorbruck,
could have been that one.
Newbrugge, Nijdegbrucke, Kichtenfeldbruck, Schonasteg, Seftasteg.
Yep. These all sound familiar. I think it was the first one.
Bridge over troubled waters.
The waters were quite calm that day, so I'm thankful for that. But we did walk over those waters, yes.
St. Beatus Caves.
I did not check out the caves, but I'd heard of them, yes.
Legend has it that a dragon lived in that cave in Switzerland.
Really?
Chased there by a monk in the 6th century.
Well, I appreciate that monk chasing that dragon away. Thank you.
Ice caves.
Yes.
In Whistler.
There's ice caves in Whistler?
You could take a helicopter up to an ice cave.
Whoa. I haven't been there, but I kind of want to do that. That sounds amazing.
Amazing caves in both places.
Very cool.
What animals do you think you might find up there?
Maybe the Yeti. Maybe that Yeti. But you got to go deep into that ice cave.
Whether you want to take that gondola up to the sky, if you want to reach that tip, if you love clocks and chocolate, or you just want to cross that bridge to get to the other side, Chris, You have helped us prove that Interlaken, Bern, Switzerland, and Vancouver, Whistler, Canada are in fact the same.
Yeah, let's not forget the Yetis, too. I think there's Yetis in both spots. Yeah, you've really painted a clear picture, and now it's obviously the same spot. Thank you for helping me cross that bridge.
Thank you, Chris. Can you yodel us out?
You just listened to Every Place Is The Same, hosted by Daniela Vlascalic and directed by Marco Timpano. If you enjoyed this episode, buy Daniela a coffee. Just go to ko-fi.com/everyplaceisthesame. That's ko-fi.com. Every Place Is The Same. Until the next time, enjoy your travels.